Welcome to Write the Docs Australia and India virtual super meetup. Now, before we begin, let me start with this acknowledgement of country. In spirit of reconciliation, Write the Docs Australia acknowledges the traditional custodians of country throughout Australia and their connections to land, sea, and community. We pay our respects to their elders past and present and extend that respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders people today. And now that I've realized that I haven't actually got my microphone on, that'll be a handy thing to have. All right. Yeah, all right. We hope you're doing okay. This is just a quick check to make sure that everyone's doing okay. As you would know, earlier this year, the Write the Docs Australia and Indian conference teams made a tough decision to cancel our usual conference to take a mental break from everything that was, been going around. This has been another rough year for all sorts of reasons, and we just hope everyone is doing okay. And hope this meetup brings a little bit of, community connectedness and an outlet for reaching out to your tribe. I know it's sort of a poor substitute for an annual conference, but hopefully you find whatever joy you can get out of, connecting with people from your own sort of area. Now, there are a lot of people here who probably haven't attended a Write the Docs event before. So just a quick note about the Write the Docs. It's a series of conferences and local meetups focused on all things related to documentation. We call our members documentarians. So anyone who cares about the quality of documentation, so your role doesn't have to be a writer, you can be a developer, UI designer, anyone pretty much. And you're really passionate about documentation and its impact on users is something what we call as a documentarian, which I guess this allows us to expand the view that job titles are not really that important. A culture of good documentation is. Just for this event today, you have permission to meet anyone who is here, but you also have the permission to maintain, mental health. So feel free to reach out to anyone on this forum. It could be the organizers, the speakers, or any other attendees. A code of conduct. Yeah, we have a code of conduct for all of our events, and it applies equally to our meetup events as well. It's a bare minimum, and it applies to this remote event. So in short, be friendly and welcoming, be respectful, and be careful in the words that you choose. If you believe that someone's violating the code of conduct during one of our events, please contact a member of the staff immediately. Here's a quick snapshot of Write the Docs Australia. We've got over 975 members, which is over the last 5 years, which is a really good number. I feel like, it's a community. It's people are contributing, people are sharing their knowledge, and it's a really wonderful thing. We've had over 60 meetup events over the last 5 or so years and 4 annual conferences. If you are missing out on the annual conference, fear not, we will bring them back in 2022. Our Write the Docs Indian team, the meetup events are currently on a short break, but they will be back to in the next year. How do you get involved with Write the Docs? There are quite a few ways. You can join the mailing list, or there's a list of global meetups. So if you're anywhere in the world, if there's a particular time zone that suits you better, there's a whole list of global meetups on that page. There's a very, very active Slack channel as well. So you can jump onto Slack and you can ask questions, share your knowledge. And also this meetup group through which you would have probably heard about this event. We've got our Write the Docs salary survey open at the moment. So I'll post this link in the chat to make sure that the data is as complete and accurate. We're just making sure that everyone fills it in. And if you run into any problems, let me know and we can post it on, or you can post about it on Slack and we'll try and get it resolved. We've had to make a small change to the schedule today. One of our scheduled speakers was unfortunately unable to make it today, but instead we have another community member, Selva, who's agreed to step in last minute and do a talk on documentation workflow. So I really, really thank you, Selva, for jumping in and helping out. So the schedule as it runs today, we've got Selva talking first about documentation workflows, and it'll be followed by a 10-minute Q&A. Then we've got Dan McPherson talking about favorite piece, lessons from favorite piece of his technical writing, and followed by a Q&A again. And then we've got a 10-minute break after these 2 talks. And after the short 10-minute break, we'll move into our next 2 talks by Mukta Vairagade and Biel Ben David. And at the end of this, we'll have the last half an hour is pretty much just a social chat and networking. And I see it's just ticked over to 3 or 5. So what I might do is I might stop sharing this, and I'll get Selva to start sharing your screen. I'll just introduce you in a minute. While we are here, we'll be monitoring the Slack, the chat. And if you've got any questions for the speaker, you can put them in the chat and we'll get to it at the end. Jennifer, if you want to wave, Jennifer's going to help us with the monitoring and moderating all the Q&A as well. So thank you, Jennifer, for jumping in and helping out. So yeah, over to you, Selva. I'll just give you a couple of minutes to just set up and then we are ready to go.